Hello, 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 and welcome to the $1 Million Electrician Podcast, where we help home service pros like you supercharge your business and spark up those sales.
I'm Joseph Lucani, and together with my co-host, Clay Newmeyer, we're here to share the secrets that have helped electricians sell over $1 million from a single service van.
Now, it's time for sales. It's time for scale. It's time to become $1 million electrician. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the $1 Million Electrician Podcast. We've got another great one lined up for you this week. How are you doing, Joseph?
I'm feeling good. I feel like a water balloon because of all the liquids I've drank today, but you know what? It's a great day to have a great day, so let's rock and roll.
Well, here's what I can promise you. We'll promise not to blow you up, Mr. Water Balloon. But what we do want to blow up is your guys' brands. I want to blow up your marketing. I want to share the 9 essential truths to your brand building, to your marketing that should not be overlooked. This is massive, especially at this time of year. You know, the April, May blues tend to happen. Some guys are feeling it, maybe a little delayed. Others seeing an incredible success, especially in our program, making more out of less. In fact, we got a win of the week. I can't wait to share with you about exactly that, guys. But with your permission, Joe, I'd love to just dive right into the first truth. And I think this is going to resonate with a lot of people. In fact, I've even got a bonus truth I'm going to add right onto it. So we got 10 points you guys need to take away from this today. You ready?
Let's dive in, man. Rock and roll. I hear it.
All right. Truth number 1. There's no way around it. Someone needs to be shouting your name from the top of the mountain. What mountain is that? It's your mountain in your marketplace. You need to climb this thing, go up top, and shout your name because no one else will. It might as well be you. This is especially true in the beginning stages, Joe. And there's one little piece that I would expand on. If you're later in business, maybe you got a CSR like we mentioned. Cassandra got great mentions in the last episode. That's someone who can now shout for you as well. In time, you'll be able to delegate. In time, you'll train a team. In time, they'll refer. In time, your clients will do this too when you create that great 3-dimensional experience. But if you're not consistently at the top of your mountain shouting your great name, then who will?
It's a shame. You know, it's almost like people are not willing to talk about their own good things, whereas they're willing to talk about others because they don't want to seem bad or arrogant or... So really, if you're on there yourself, it's frustrating. And when you have a team member that can do it for you, it seems that much more genuine.
And truth number 2 ties right into this. It matters what you shout, guys, and how often. Please be consistent in showing your prospects and your marketplace. A, why you're the best. B, how to know when they need you and why. And C, that you're just a person too. Like you, Joe, like me, hearts on our sleeves. Guys, did you know 90% of our listeners do not subscribe to our channels? And that subscribing makes a huge difference, as does leaving a review. This is me, heart on the sleeve, just asking you. And we'll keep asking you, not because we want to bore you with this, because we want you to know the impact, and we're humans too. And this helps us be more human and set up even more value. So number 2, it matters what you shout and how consistent, how often you do that thing. Number 3, this one's super important, Joe. You can borrow channels. You can borrow them like Google. Your social medias even are borrowed. Lead aggregators like Yelp, Thumbtack, Angie's Leads. And you could do this for as long as you want. But relying on these to be the only sources will be expensive in the long term. And guess what? The price isn't going down, Joe.
Nothing's going down.
They're getting more expensive every day. We're starting to see a shift in the marketplace with Google, for example. We all know there's a bunch of private equity groups buying up the smaller businesses, and they've got big fat budgets, and they're dominating areas like Google because the experts know how. Google's also constantly evolving and constantly shifting to try to continue to make the most off of the market in the marketplace and make the most of people using them to find the best service providers. And guess what? Google knows that those people with bigger budgets also have usually the complete experience. They usually have the CSR. They usually have these people in place, bigger teams that will take care of, that'll never miss a call, that will please the customers, usually.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad news, but it depends how you take it for the smaller guys. You still have opportunities. And it's most important from this rule that you recognize we're just borrowing these places.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? What does it mean to borrow that place? What does it mean to pay for space? Like imagine you have a parking space in a parking lot just for people to see your car. That's what it means. It means you're getting people from there, and that's expensive, but that shouldn't be your constant and your long-term strategy. Go ahead, brother.
You just jogged my memory about a memory that happened when you said you have a parking spot just so people can see you. When I first started our company, or started my company, I had a situation where marketing, we were broke as a joke. We didn't have anything for marketing, but we ended up bartering a deal with a local ice cream shop on a major highway where we said, we'll do all your electric work for free. Just let us have access to your dumpster and be able to park right on this road. And eventually people thought that was our location. They started recognizing us from that. So yeah, paying for a parking spot to get leads is a genuinely good strategy.
100%. And again, ways that the small guys can beat the Google, can beat people looking online, that could be one of them. Present in mind is a big thing. Even social medias, I just want to drive this home. We're even borrowing Facebook. We're borrowing Instagram. Because here's the reality, what's good today isn't promised tomorrow. We've capitalized on Facebook massive with our own brand. However, we've also had it where Facebook shut down for a couple hours. Do you remember that, Joe?
Unfortunately, yeah.
It made us go, oh crap, what do we do now? It made us
Mhm.
have a plan B. It really made us look at this as not something we could take for granted. And that's what these marketing truths are, guys. So we're going to teach you more as we get into number 4 here. Treat your service and consistent communication like your number one channel for marketing in the long-term future. If you don't keep talking to your hard-earned clients now, why would they care to listen to you later? This is so important.
Yeah, in all honesty, they have to want to talk to you as well. It's not just being able to listen, but like, what have you done to earn their interest?
Yeah. We had Zach on the podcast with the email specific, and that's
Mm-hmm.
part of what inspired this rule, but also this 3D experience we've discussed on here now. This is so important. Don't wait till you need leads to talk to your customers. That's desperate. And desperation is a smelly cologne. Instead, have those consistent communications built out now. Everyone, like so many people rest in this assumption. We've seen it in our classes often. No one checks their emails, do they? That's the same as saying no one buys platinums, so I'm not going to offer them.
Wow.
Our average email open rate's around 45% of thousands of people. That means every week, a couple thousand people open our emails and read them. Some click through and take advantage of the offers or reply. Others just read them. But I'm engaging with them, or we're engaging with them every week at least, sometimes several times a week when we've got lots to say. Please do not miss this opportunity, because the difference is when I go on Facebook right now and I do a post, how many people are going to see it, Joe?
I mean, only the people that are going to be in your feed, unless it's public. I mean, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to physically see it.
Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but how many?
I can't quantify it, but what I can quantify is the amount of people in my email inbox that I currently know, and I can say a percentage wise, I send this many will click. So instead of just saying, well, it's public and maybe this will go viral and maybe someone will share it, it's like maybe, no. But instead, I know this will work. I know this many percentage should open it. Therefore, this many people will see it.
100%. If you haven't listened to that email podcast, please go back. SMS even takes this a step further. Again, permission and rapport are required. Please don't lose those things. Don't lose sight of that. Number 4 was treat your service and consistent communications like your number one channel for marketing. Remember what Zach said? Someone hired him. Within 30 days, they had to slow down the emails because they were getting too many
Mm-hmm.
sales.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's true for you? What if You're literally just not communicating with people that are actually interested in buying more, and you just haven't asked.
Mhm.
And you're sitting here frustrated potentially with Google or website or trying to spend money in other areas. This is crazy to overlook. Number 5, you're going to pay for leads. We all do. And the currency comes in 2 forms. It'll take your money, it'll take your time, or really both. It often requires both. So those channels you're borrowing, the communications you're making, the money you're spending or investing in different channels, those are all costs of marketing. There's no such thing as a zero-sum marketing game. You will invest somewhere. You need to. Please don't stop. Number 6, marketing will be an all-consuming venture so long as you try to do it all yourself, just like any one of the other hats you wear. When we're talking to clients and they ask us about building brands, like real market dominating brands, and marketing in a way that's unbeatable, unstoppable, not only do we cover these truths, but we go deep on this. You need to delegate some of this responsibility. You need to build a team around this. And it's often comprised of in house management and external experts. We're going to touch on the external experts piece again during these truths, but it's very important to recognize. For example, if I could,
By all means.
a lot of people leverage AI, but there's a
Mm.
quality control issue. It still takes time. Or maybe you have someone manually making posts, but you still have to review them to make sure they're quality, right?
Mhm.
It takes time to delegate this and to train this, but you can accomplish a lot, so much more, if you just commit to the quality overview instead of the creation, the publishing, and everything in between of your message. Does that make sense, Joe?
It really, really does. And it inspired me to have a thought where I can imagine when you're so busy, and granted, we're speaking to business owners, we all get it. There's always something that is boiling and bubbling in your brain where it's taking so much mental equity you don't have anymore. The scariest and most dangerous thing to do is to hand something off without any expectation of overview and assuming it's happening the right way. Because once again, reputation takes a lifetime to build and moments to destroy. So even when you're so busy, it's really important to understand the key factors that you need to be present for, because you may be able to put off certain things, but managing your reputation and your communication with your long, well earned clients, that's not something we're going to skip over.
Definitely not a back burner thing, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, I'm really fond of. Just because you said it or posted it doesn't mean they heard it. Back to
Mm-hmm.
that algorithm, back to the email. Thing is, I could tell you, hey, on average, 45% open. I just can't tell you which 45%, not
Mm-hmm.
without a deeper dive. I could look one by one. We could look at trends of people opening. But generally speaking, I need to say things more than once. I need to continue to say them. I wrote this note down earlier. There's a framework that we need to develop still, Joe. It's not out there, guys. You're hearing it here first, but it's the story and the story modifiers. That's the framework. The story doesn't change, the modifiers do. When you're speaking your truth, what makes you different? The fact that you focus on the person, not the tech necessarily, right? Not just an electrical system to me. You're a person that requires care and attention. When you're telling people your difference in your market, and it's not that it needs to be the exact same verbiage every single time, but it does need to be the same points. It needs the same storyline with story modifiers. Does that make sense?
It really lines up very, really well, and it can also take that same logic and apply it to options, right? So let's say you've designed a 6 choices for customers and they take your bronze, but in the silver, gold, and platinum you offered electronics protection, a first class membership, recessing light, like you offered some additional services. Well, you said it once, right? And then they made a purchase. But if you never mention it again, it's never going to be top of mind at any point. So if you continually mention, hey, by the way, I know last we worked with you, we discussed these things, and I want to just make sure we reviewed why we offered it. It doesn't mean you have to take it. I just want to make sure you're aware of what we had suggested and why we did. You are doing the exact same concept, but applying it to a sales structure. So if we would do the same in sales to get the money, why wouldn't we do that in marketing in order to find the people to do that with?
100%, man. I love that. Great example, great crossover. Again, number 7, just because you said it or posted it doesn't mean they heard it. Communication is what they can repeat back to you. And I'm going to take this to the nth degree here and actually add to this. Do it again until eyes roll and people can repeat it back to you. One of my first business coaches, Dan, actually said this to me. He said, and it was his spiel. He would say over and over, he'd go to BNI, he'd go to Chamber of Commerce, he'd go to all these networking things. He wasn't a huge social media guy. He was more the in-person networking and marketing guy. But he would always say, I help business owners get more clients, net more profit, and have more time off. And then there was another 15, 30 seconds he would add to that. But that specific thing he would say every single time he was in a room and asked to introduce himself. As a result, do you know what happened in these meetings, Joe?
Yeah, eventually the people started repeating back, like, we know. Like, that's what you do.
100%. Eyes would roll and they net more profit, get more time off. But here's the thing. When they encountered another business owner that had any of those pain points they discussed, what would they say
Mhm.
to that person?
Hey, I know a guy that can help you make more money, have more time off. Like, it's all there because you're able to
100%.
solve a specific problem and you know who to point them to.
So please, 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 just because you said it or posted it doesn't mean they've heard it or heard it enough. Do it again until eyes roll and people can repeat it back to you and watch what happens next. Rule number 8. Sorry, guys. Win of the week time. We're going to interrupt here. We've got 8, 9, and a bonus 10 coming at you, but I wouldn't be happy with this episode if we didn't share Wendy's big win. She says, hey, we just doubled our revenue last week with fewer jobs, loving the options, and she's loving this 3D experience and providing at a higher level. To which Austin replied in the group, feels so weird, doesn't it? I've seen that all year and kept telling everyone how weird this year has felt. I finally realized that's how it's supposed to feel. We're supposed to do more for fewer people. This is great news for this episode because we don't need as many leads. We need to do more for every lead in the long term, you guys. So inspiring. Anything to say to that one, Joe?
Honestly, it makes me so happy because it shows that they're walking their walk, but also talking the talk. Like, you could not, Bob Marley says it, and I love it. You can fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. So if you're finding an Austin situation, hey, I keep getting more revenue from less calls. It's a fluke. It's a fluke. It's a fluke. No, you're not fooling anyone. In fact, they're just recognizing the truth before you do.
100%. You nailed it. You nailed it. All right, guys, I had the big cliffhanger. We're back to 8. Marketing tires people out because it's a process, one of testing and improvement, just like sales and service and everything else that we learn in business. Please be patient. It's like building a sales process. It's like testing a sales process. It's like improving any other process. You need patience to make this work, guys. Marketing is testing. Please do your split testing. Understand what does it work? How does it work with when I say it this way? How does the story work when I have this story modifier? Test and be patient, test and be patient, test and be patient. Here's the great news. When something works, then use it as an ad, then put money behind it when you've tested it organically, when you've seen the results, then double down. That's how to leverage your marketing. Number 9, this one's the almost final, except I let you into the already bonus number 10. But number 9 is so important. Guys, the path forward in marketing is volume up, not volume down. Do not get complacent with this activity. Soon after, you'll be low on leads, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this mean? If you listen to Hormozy, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and many of us do when it comes to marketing, lead generation offers, etc. I recently heard Hormozy's up to 500 pieces of content a week. 500, he said, a week. I can validate that we are still under 100 a week, but we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 50 a week on average.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started, Joe, we were in the neighborhood of 5 to 10 a week,
I remember.
right? Then 10 to 20, then 30 to 40, then 40 to 50. This is the journey. It's more over more channels, not less at any time. So when people come in the program and they say something like, hey, leads are pretty good right now, thinking of turning off my Google LSA.
Mm-mm.
Please do not do that. Please do not, in a pinch, make a rash decision to turn anything down. The path forward is volume up. Until you can replace those leads organically or through your own independent owned channels like your email, SMS, organic posts, etc., please do not turn it down. Volume up over more channels, not volume down over less for any growing companies. That makes sense, Joe?
Yeah, it makes complete sense. I'm right there with you.
Last but not least, you guys have been very patient. Number 10, the path forward to domination into the future requires you to listen to your customers, to hear them and adapt. There's no marketing company that can do this part for you. This is really, really, really important. We had Guillermo Castillo on for an episode at one point, and he said, hey, we brought a company in to do data mining, and what we found was insights from our data. The company can do the mining. Companies can come in and help you interpret your data, but no one can listen to your customers like you can. Please spend more time with them. Joe, go ahead, brother.
I just remembering that interview, and one of the most impactful things was the amount that they 3x'd. Like, you had one that was a $2,000 sale, but the second transaction was an average of 6. So in that same concept that we're trying to apply here, it's not the money you're chasing, it's the relationship. And when you invest in the relationship consistently, the money follows you. So it's the thing that you're chasing is not the right thing if it's money based. But if you're chasing the relationship, the money will follow.
Absolutely. I'm telling you guys, there's a blue ocean in your marketplace. Travis Terrebonne talked about that being his favorite book. If you haven't read that one, go get it. I'm going to sum this up for you. Take something old that's complacent and that we have assumptions about in market, like electrical service and how it's supposed to be done, and add something new. Listen to your customers. What problems do they have? What is just taken for granted? What are we just in an assumption because of social norms about that we could actually innovate just a little bit to be so far away from that old level of service to be completely new? I'll give you guys an example. I wish I could share the screen and put this on the podcast, maybe on another episode, but I'm going to run out of time. But I'm going to ask that Tony, podcast manager, will link this video below for what we call the Ninja Cooler. Change the game on coolers. This company, guys, if you're not on their email list, go ahead and follow them. They're doing gadgets and kitchen stuff and barbecues. I've got the air fryer, coffee makers, etc. They've reimagined the cooler to finally have a way to not get soggy sandwiches, to not have cardboard breaking down and melting ice. And it's such an aha moment that you're going to think, God, they should have invented this 30 years ago. But as a result, guess how much the cooler costs today, even though it maybe costs the same as any other cooler to manufacture?
I honestly don't know. I mean, what's the price? I'm assuming it's a hell of a lot more.
$400. It's a
But if
premium
it solves an
cooler.
emotional problem, like if it
It's got a
solves your
dry
barbecue
storage
getting
box.
ruined. Sorry,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that's okay, man. I'm just excited, and I know we're out of time. It's got a dry storage box in the bottom that keeps it fridge temp. The ice lasts for days. You guys check out the link below wherever you're seeing or listening to the podcast. Go check out this Ninja Cooler, not because they're paying us, because I want to go to their factory and be part of just witnessing the innovation that happens there. They're the masters of looking at something and the assumptions about it and adapting service to be a complete blue ocean. There's just no other words for it. You got to see it yourself. In summary, guys, be the master of your own messaging. Delegate in-house and hire companies to help you master the tech, the channel, the timing, or the consistency of the outreach. But master these principles, and I promise you long-term brand building success and leads that last years, not just a single promotion or a single job. Hope that hits home with you guys. Joe, anything you want to add to this one?
First off, I apologize for interrupting. The thing that I was going to say ties so perfectly to sales, because why would someone pay $400 for something they can get for $30? Well, why would someone pay $400 to get an outlet change that should only cost X dollars? Because it solves an emotional problem. I don't want my barbecue and my fishing trip getting ruined because when I open it and everything's soggy inside, I want to guarantee that I have a good time with my family. And as a result, I'm willing to put the money into it to guarantee there's no problems. There's always going to be someone who wants something better to solve the emotional problems. They don't have to deal with it.
Absolutely amazing input. Thank you so much for that. You guys heard it here first. We literally have to go. Class starts in 30 seconds. We've got to jump from helping you to helping them, and you can help someone too by sharing this episode with a friend that you know needs to hear this and needs to follow the $1 Million Electrician and keep getting this value. Remember, more subscribers just that deepens our commitment to keep bringing that value, you guys. We'll see you again next week. Cheers to your success. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the $1 Million Electrician podcast.
We hope you're buzzing with new ideas that charged up to take your business to the next level.
So don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the show with fellow electricians. Together, we'll keep the current flowing.